Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing all right, because it is time for a very random but surprising abnormal barter to do. Yes, it's Sunday. What's going on? Well, this past Monday, we had a brand new item being introduced to Rust, that being this very ghastly-looking Dracula Mask, as you can see right here. So this was introduced this past Monday with all the Halloween content, and please be aware of this rule. When a brand new item is introduced to Rust, by default, it will be abnormal. So there might be something that might appear in the future for Christmas time, or a future Easter time, or something again next year for Halloween. Just be aware that when a new item is being introduced, it will be abnormal, and depending when it's introduced, it's going to be appearing at somewhat like 7 days later. So let's just kind of get the math figured out here. This appeared this past Monday, right? Now, technically speaking, it's going to appear at a specific time on the third chip, 7 days later, 7-day cooldown. Because this is all somewhat figured out based on UK time, it's going to appear right now in about 20 minutes time now. Oh, God. So basically, clock's only just recently changed last night. This is going to appear at midnight, all right? So for the next 6 months from here and now, abnormals are 1 hour earlier, aka midnight in the UK. So, yeah. Funnily enough, this appeared this past Monday, and quite literally, still somewhat Sunday, it's going to appear on the Steam market. A bit goofy for you Americans especially, because right now it's only like 6 o'clock in the evening, isn't it? So we now need to go ahead and try and figure out what price we might want to offer for this $5 Dracula Mask. So first things first, we do need to just kind of get a good idea of all of its details. So as you can see here, I'm on Rust Labs, and you can see, the ingredients cost and, what the protection it provides. And if you aren't fully aware, this is basically the exact same thing as a Snowman Helmet, which, of course, you can see right here. Go away. Oh, these things keep appearing. Here you go. Yeah, so the exact same thing. But this was for Christmas, and that appeared like 2 years ago in 2021. If you aren't fully aware, both of them are technically headsets. This was like the very first Twitch drop that was given away back in like 2020, I believe. Yeah, I don't think everybody has these, but that's definitely going to be something that we had to take into consideration when we're trying to figure out price for this. So by default, when we were discussing this earlier, with you chat, with my stream right here, first thought was, why don't we go ahead and take a look at how the likes of the Snowman Helmet has performed over the past couple years. So if you aren't fully aware, we have Christmas skins, of course, and we have our own special Christmas items, and Snowman Helmet was introduced back in 2021. So we got a decent amount of time to look at with its sales history. So right now this is currently selling for just over $2, and it will be increasing in price as we get closer to Christmas 2023. But if I scroll down and look at its history, it's been a bit awkward. It's been a bit funny. So let's just quickly remind ourselves. The Snowman Helmet sells for about $4, all right? If we just quickly look over to here, you can see how it just dramatically drops in price the very second the holiday is over. And that's something that happens with every single brand new item, all right? Please remember this. And, it affects all of these as well. It's going to affect our current Halloween items as well. The very second Halloween is over, all of these Halloween items are expected to drop a fair bit. And, of course, with the likes of the Christmas things, when that Christmas was over, all of these did dip down in price as well. One of the main things that keeps the prices up is the fact that they're currently in the Rust store at a specific set price. With the recent reintroduction of the hockey mask, for example, that being listed at $7 in the Rust store caused it to have a bit of a price spike, because people would rather buy it from the Steam market rather than buying it in the Rust store. So that had a very nice boost in price, mainly due to the fact it's brought back. When it's out of the Rust store, it very likely will go back down again. So please be aware of that, okay? And this does apply to brand new items. So this Dracula Mask, we have to be fully well aware that once it's no longer Halloween, it's going to be dropping in price. And that typically also affects holiday skins, holiday themed skins. The very second the holiday is over, they do go down in price as well. But very conveniently, we do have post-Christmas just happening over the course of the next month or two. And the best thing that we can learn from is the hockey mask, which came out last year. So let's just quickly take a look at the likes of this, because I want to just go over the behavior that we just literally talked about. So as you can see right now, it's just under $4. Last year it came out for like $8, and as you can see, dramatically goes down in price. No longer Halloween? Why do I want it? Well, it reaches a low point at some point here in November, and then it picks up again quite nicely for post-Christmas. It doesn't match up to its rust price, but it still went up a fair bit. And then once that was all said and done, it went down. Okay? So I am expecting this exact same behaviour with the likes of Dracula Mask. This is something we've seen happen before. It's very likely going to happen all over again. So again, we go back over to looking at the likes of the Dracula Mask, and we have to question, how likely is this going to be used? Because we already have a counterpart, and, you know, if you already have this Twitch drop, why would you even care considering buying this? Do you like what that is? Do you think it's goofy? Do you think it's silly? Because one thing that I had to talk about with my chat is, with the likes of the Snowman Helmet, with Christmas, people care about Christmas. We've seen this with the likes of our Christmas skins and whatnot. They're currently slowly getting bought out. When November hits, it's just going to keep rising and rising and rising in price, especially when we hit December time, because, of course, you know, Christmas month. With Halloween, people don't care about Halloween skins. I could quickly show you the likes of Halloween skins from last year, and you can see that they are not holding up whatsoever. So if I just quickly look over to here, and what do you see? Quite a lot of them in the negative, unfortunately. It's awkward, but it is what it is. People just don't seem to care too much about Halloween stuff. So that's making me a fair bit worried in regards to that. There's also the likes of all those Lunar New Year masks. Now, they aren't directly similar, but I thought it might be something interesting to show off, because these come out at fairly high prices every single year, and then they dramatically drop down in price. You know, a few thousand sales, it's basically less than a quarter almost. Yeah, very awkward. So if I could just zoom in a little bit better there, you can see the prices. So sold for $6.49, $6.49, $6.49. Now it's selling for $1.68, $2, and $3.17. Awkward. Very, very, very awkward. But they are equal to the likes of Wolf Headdress, I believe, if I'm correct there. So they are a little bit more special. Whereas this, but, you know, the ingredients, it's very cheap. Okay, fair enough. Cool. But I'm just going to have to be very reasonable with this. I just can't imagine it's going to be doing insane. Unless someone makes a very cool YouTube video showcasing this off, making it, you know, a bit of a funny thing about them and whatnot. Sure, cool. But, like, I just can't imagine this is going to be doing all right, especially when it's not Halloween. And, you know, both of these, if you wear them, you're going to stand out pretty noticeably, aren't you? So, real quick, as you can see here with the Snowman Helmet, it always drops very low around March, April time. As you can see here, very awkward drops. Snowman Helmet reaches low points of about $1.40, $1.50. So, my answer to you is, do you reckon the likes of the Dracula Mask will return next year? I'm under the impression we might get a different themed mask every single year now for Halloween. Next year might be, I don't know, mummy, a ghost, maybe a wolf man or something, alien possibly. Yeah, I think he's like a one and done. And then next year it's going to be a different theme. And the year after that it's going to be a different theme. So perhaps this, you know, when we see the Halloween rust store next year and we see it isn't back, maybe it might rise in price around then. That's something for you to consider. But we won't know until we see next year. And that's a long way away. So, okay, what do we do? Based on what I saw the likes of the Snowman Helmet, and knowing that rust stuff is like, you know, Halloween rust stuff is less desirable, it seems, especially during the year, I might play it extra safe and only do a $1 buy order. Up to $1.50 maybe, so $1 to $1.50. This is a $5 item, right? What, $5 right here, right now. But I can't help but think it will just go down. Look at all of those Lunar New Year masks. They sold for a very nice price, and then they all went down. It's awkward, but yeah, it is what it is. Now, next year we will find out whether this is reintroduced or it's not. And if it's not, then that's it. There's only so many of these in circulation. Maybe then it starts to rise up in price ever so nicely. So this definitely is a long-term investment. But based on what we saw the likes of the hockey mask this year, just before Halloween, and we can show this once more, just before Halloween, it wasn't doing super good. You know, this sold for $8 last year, but because it was reintroduced and sold at a much higher price than what it was on the Steam market, you can see right here, it had a nice spike in price, because loads of people thought, you know what, instead of buying it from the Rust store, I'll just buy it from the Steam market instead. All the stock were bought out, and it reached up to a point of almost $5, and then it started to, cool down a fair bit recently. So yeah, not exactly a very good outlook. So the smartest approach is play it safe, stick with doing a lowball buy order, $1 to $1.50 or the likes of this. That's my answer, okay? That's what I'm considering doing. But if you really do feel like everything's going to work out all right in the future with the likes of this, maybe offer more, maybe push it up to $2. That's up to you, okay? But I've seen many things appear and look awesome when they first appear, and then it just drops dead. It's awkward, yeah. But I will sit here and say, by default, I expect this to go down in price at a low point. Its lowest point is going to be some point in November. That is expected, especially with all the Halloween stuff. But I do still expect it to have a bit of a rise in price around post-Christmas time. But how low will it go at some point in November? That's the main question. Because it might drop all the way down to $2, but then only go up to about $2.50 around January time, January 2024 to be specific. So yeah, I don't fully know. So this is why I'm sitting here saying, well, I guess the early answer is to play it safe. And yeah, so $1 for the extra safe buy order, maybe around $1.50, $2 for the second buy order. But long term, when we see Halloween next year, I can see two outcomes, and both of them seem somewhat positive for it to rise back up in price again. Either like Hockey Mask, where it's reintroduced at a higher price than what it is in the Steam market, yeah, it'll go back up in price. Or it's not reintroduced, and people think it's rare, and it gets bought out because of that. So, we shall see. We shall see. That was a lot of talk in there, and I'm very sorry, but I've got to throw out everything that I could possibly think of, all the context. So yeah, goofy guy, but we shall see what happens with this. And yeah, so chat, do you feel somewhat pleased with that? Are you happy? Did you take all of that in? I know that was quite a speech, quite a bit of a talk, but there's one final extra thing that we need to be aware of. You know how we've been making such a big fuss about keeping an eye on all the commits, being aware of all the new content that's being worked on? Santa Mask. Santa Mask was mentioned 2 days ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another variant of the likes of Dracula Mask and Snowman Helmet and Headset, which is probably this Santa Mask. Maybe it will be different, I don't know, but it's Mask, and my instant assumption is it's going to be something like the Dracula Mask. So if that happens, that might take away a lot of thunder from the Dracula Mask. Awkward. Maybe it'll be a completely different type of mask. We don't know until it appears, so keep that in mind. It is awkward, but yeah, literally 10 minutes away now. So, with what we just talked about, has happened many times in the past, especially with these two, this, and this. These three items appeared last year. They had issues, struggled here and there, but we saw them rise in price eventually. But it takes a long time. This is long-term investing. And, well, by default, you should expect all new things to go down in price initially, and then from then on, things might work out very nicely. Again, each and every single different item in the future might be different and behave differently. I can't answer everything right now because I'm currently in the present here. I don't know what else might come out. So, yeah. Please try and see how, during all of this, I made some comparisons. I learned from the past, from the things that were fairly relatable, and I've built up to my current opinion. And how you build your opinion on future things is with what you can do in terms of what you can research behind new stuff. Okay, so I think I've rambled more than enough now. Shall we actually go ahead and do the actual bio chat? So let's just go do that. I've got my link right here. Gonna grab that. I'm nice and ready. So let's skip ahead to another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll do that bio order. We'll look at the support afterwards, and we'll see what its future likely will be. So, right then, people, here we go. Dracula Mask is about to appear. And is it midnight? Oh, where is it? There we go. Oh, my, that was quick. And 4,000 buy orders. Well, there you go. That's the current state of Rust at the moment. 4,000 buy orders instantly appear. How many buy orders now? 8,000. Cool. Yay! What the hell? Let me go put this on the side and let me just quickly go take a look at it right now. So, I have to turn this back on, and if we take a look at it right now, you can see... Oh no! Right. Don't worry, this only affects this current time, but we've got a bit of an issue where we can't actually see listings for skins at the moment. It happened back in the summer, it's happening right now, probably because we have a Halloween sale going on at the moment. But we're not actually going to be able to see listings. That's awkward. We can still see the buy orders. Don't worry, we can still see the buy orders. But yeah, there you go. Look at all those that have just appeared. Oh yeah, that's perfectly legitimate. That's definitely a real... buy order put down by a real person that just so happened to appeared within a microsecond. Anyway, that's just the whole thing that we're dealing with at the moment. But as you look at all of these buy orders, you can clearly see a lot of them around $1, and then you see a perfectly fine amount going slightly above $1. But this is only going up to about $1.70. This is a $5 skin. Do you honestly think this is going to retain its value? No, that's not retaining its value. It is unfortunate, but like we said, we've thrown out all the context, behind it, all the potential problems. Yeah, so if people expect it to suffer, well, it's probably actually going to suffer now, isn't it? So, yeah, that is what it is. So, I hope this was all insightful for all of you and whatnot. I know there was a lot to unpack onto you, and you probably didn't like that, but there's a lot to learn, and you only really learn if you actually take part in all of this. So now we also should talk about actually making some profits with the likes of long-term investing, more specifically with Halloween items, because you can't really make profits with Halloween skins unless they are not too gimmicky for Halloween. Well, maybe she might work out all right because she looks really cute. But anyway, I actually made a video talking about long-term investing with Halloween items. I'll probably add it in the description of what this video will be, and you could consider taking a look at likes of that. But a lot of these items are now going to go and drop down in price. That's to be expected. And then overall, as time goes on, when there's a nice peak period of time, post-Christmas time or in the dead middle of the summer, yeah, you're going to probably see the items get bought out. You're probably going to see them reach peak prices to sell at and whatnot. So yeah, do be aware of that. These items, all of them, they are going to drop down a fair bit. Even the brand new ones, which we did specifically mention. But the only real way you're going to make some profits out of all of these things is, if you do a buy order, that's at a point where the items normally drop down to. What do you mean by that, Hedge? Well, if I quickly look at Skull Spikes right now, this is still selling for the price it's selling for in the Rust store. And if I look at it on the Steam market, yep, this is now currently selling for $3.35. But me knowing that they usually tend to drop down in price pretty sharply at specific points, I should learn from that, see the prices that they drop down to, and specifically when, and I should put a buy order price down similar to that price. I'll pick them all up when they reach that lowest point within the next few months or so, and then if I just wait until next Halloween, when everybody's preparing and anticipating for that, yeah, that's when I'll sell. And that applies to Easter and Christmas and whatnot as well for their special items and all that. So yeah, just something to consider. Do be aware, these holiday-themed items will be dipping, but if you happen to jump in and pick them up at just the right price, you can sell them at a much better price when all the prices pick up a fair bit. Or more specifically, when everybody's rubbing their hands and just waiting for the actual holiday event to appear. Sounds good? Awesome. So hope that was all insightful. Hope that was enjoyable. And I wonder what price this is going to be selling for in the future. It's probably going to be very low. So one more quick look over to you. And yeah, still only up to about $1.70. I wonder if it's going to have all of these buy orders still around there. If I refresh, yeah, it's still bugged. Yeah, so hopefully that bug is fixed, but it's probably not going to happen until the Halloween Steam sale is over with. So yeah. Alright, that's all done then. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.